Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to another fabulous Sheffield DM. If you are new to Sheffield DM, I'll let you know what we're all about. Every 2 weeks on a Thursday lunchtime, we host talks from amazing marketers who do amazing work across the whole spectrum of digital marketing. I'm your host, Giorgio Casella, and I am the head of marketing at Evoluted, who are the brilliant sponsors of Sheffield DM and have been organising it for over 2 years now. So this week we're joined by Gemma Fontané, and I'm really hoping I didn't get that pronunciation horribly wrong.
Yes.
Gemma is a SEO and analytics consultant who works across a wide range of industries with both in-house and agency teams. Gemma is brilliantly also trilingual, which positions her perfectly to advise on international SEO. I mean, being able to only speak one language, I'm at a huge disadvantage there. So I've got huge admiration for that. Today, Gemma's going to be delivering a talk on how to implement multilingual keyword research within your international SEO strategies. So Gemma, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thanks. Thank you for inviting me.
You're based out near Barcelona, correct?
Yes, exactly. Here I am.
I bet it's a lot warmer there than it is here. It's fabulously sunny, but it's very cold.
Yeah. Well, here, we are. It's arriving summer.
Excellent. Very jealous. Very jealous. I'm going to stop waffling. I'm going to hand it over to you. I'm really looking forward to this talk. So as usual, for everybody watching, if you have questions for Gemma, you can put them in the chat and we'll go through them at the end. But yeah, Gemma, it's over to you. I'll pop your presentation in and good luck.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, so then I'm going to start. What I am going to talk today, it's about multilingual keyword research and how to start an international B2B SEO strategy. As you just said, I'm in Barcelona, so I'm going to use I'm going to explain a lot of examples in the Spanish market, but because it's easier for me and because we have like a lot of different languages here. But this will be then you can use this around the world. Okay. Okay, so let's start then. You just get traffic from one country and don't know how to change it? Or maybe do you want to increase the traffic that you get from a region, from other countries? But you are a B2B company, you are a medium-sized company, and you have to compete against big brands, especially in your international countries, in the new countries that you want to expand. Then, do you want to achieve this with your international SEO strategy? Do you want to arrive to new countries? Do you want to expand your visibility around the world? Or this, you want to index new keywords to new countries, to new markets, to reach your new targets? Then this is the solution: to create an accurate international SEO strategy with a special focus on multilingual keyword research. This will be the main topic that we are going to cover today. Okay, let's go then. What's the first thing that we need to take into mind before starting an international SEO strategy? Well, first of all, the first thing that we need to keep into mind is like there are more than 6,000 spoken languages in the world. It's true that some of them are not spoken with a lot of people, but we have like a lot to choose if we want to start our international SEO strategy. What can we see here? The languages that are more spoken, this is not new. It's Chinese, Spanish, English in the third position, although it's a language that more people around the world understands. Bengali, Hindi, Portuguese, these are like the people that speak these languages, like there are millions of people, but the percentage that this means. For example, English, how many speakers there are in the world? Like only 4% of the population have English as the first language, yeah? And it's like, yeah, a lot of people, but still there are more languages in the world. However, on the other side, if we look to the other graph, what we can see is like most of the content that we can find online is in English. This is a recent study that it says like 60%, maybe it's 50, 55. But what we can expect from here is like, okay, a lot of content online, it's in English, like the major part. What happens to the other languages? Why are not more content in other languages, which is the causes, or how can we do it to have it with other languages? This is what we're going to learn later today. What's important here to see is, okay, there are a lot of content in English online. That's important, but what does it mean? There are a lot of people looking in English online. This is true, but also the competence is really high online. I mean, in English, like there are a lot of content, but also a lot of competence. So this will be useful for us because this will help us to define our strategy. So something else that we can see from here, for example, is like Portuguese. For example, the sixth language with more speakers in the world. However, it's not even in the top 10 languages online. So these will be things that we will need to take into account. Okay, let's go. This is important that from a study like Can Read One By, to take into account for our international SEO strategy. 40% of global consumers won't buy in other languages. 60% use online machine translation when buying online. I mean, these sentences, they are really important for our international SEO strategy if we want that our users convert. If when we are like choosing a country to expand, we want to have good results and we want that people convert. It's important to know this, to know that people already like content with their language. Okay. So why it's important to do a multilingual keyword research when starting an international strategy? Well, because this helps us to reach our target audience. It helps us to target our potential countries and users in a correct way. This also helps us to provide more personalized and customized content, right? As we've seen before, a lot of people like to read reviews, to read product information on their own language, or at least in a language that they can easily understand. Yes? And last but not least, and this is really important, this helps us to find new opportunities, new SEO opportunities, especially when we compete against big brands, when we want to start in a new country where there are like a lot of competitors. Okay? So after this, we can say, yeah, let's go and start our SEO international strategy. For example, if you are in the UK, in Spain. Yeah, wait one moment. First, there is something that we need to take into account. First of all, define your objective and prioritize, always. It is important to select specifically the countries or languages where you are going to start. It is important to cover the whole world, right? It's like, okay, I want to start selling in Latin America. Yeah, this is like millions of people, different countries. It's important to prioritize, to focus our efforts in a country, in a market, or in a language. Because if not, it will be difficult for us to compete against our competitors, to find a gap in the places that we already want to sell our product online. Okay? So this is really important, especially with this when we are not a big brand or when we are a medium-sized company. How can we choose a country? Well, we have different options. For example, maybe there are some countries that we already have keywords indexed because they have the same language, or because we already have conversations from there. So this could be something that can help you to choose which country is better to expand. For example, I have a real case here. I have a client that we have like in Spanish, it was the main market, and we saw that we were starting to receive calls from Mexico. And we were like, wait, we have a lot of keywords indexed there. Why not design an SEO international strategy there if we think that our product will fit there? And right now, as you can see here, it's our main country with more keywords indexed. Yeah, so this is important. What else? To do a good market research. Yeah, it's not only important to see, okay, we already have some keywords indexed there, but who are our competitors there? Which is the trends of our product and service? Is people from this country really going to buy our product? So it's important to do this market research. And last but not least, before investing a lot of resources in a new SEO strategy in our country, it's important to validate if our product fits there. For example, here in UK, maybe a lot of people live in houses, right? Imagine that you want to start selling something for the garden in Barcelona, in Catalonia. Here, a lot of people don't live in houses. So maybe selling these products for the garden is not your best option here. So before developing an SEO international strategy, a good idea will be to try to see if your product already fits there. Yeah, and how can you try this? Well, you, for example, can do it through Google Ads or to some marketplaces such as Direct Industry or Amazon, or depending on the sector, you can find local directories there. Okay, so once we've done this, when we saw, okay, our product fits here, there are options and there are like opportunities, let's start our SEO international strategy. Okay, first of all, if we already don't have our website, this is something that I'm not going to focus today, but it's important to remember about web architecture. Yeah, there are like two different main tags: generic to level domains and country code to level domains. Yeah, which one is better? Like always in SEO, it depends. It depends on the country that we want to expand. It depends on our competitors. It depends on the product that we are selling. So that's why it's important to do the previous market research that we talked before, because this will help you to prioritize, well, to decide which one is your best option. If it's better to do it with subdomains, subdirectories. Okay. As for in my experience, in my case, because I work with a lot of B2B companies, in these cases, I have a lot of generic top-level domains because the product that we sell in the different countries doesn't change, and it's in this case more or less the same. However, if the price or the legal aspects or something really different in one country or another, so maybe it's better to have a country, to have it like for a country code. Okay, but this will depend on you, on your resources and your competence. Yeah. So once we have this, we can start our multilingual keyword research. But how are we going to do our keyword research from one country to another? What do we need to take into account? Well, there are like 4 main categories when doing a multilingual keyword research. And now we are going to go through them. First of all, one case that we can face when doing an international strategy is when we are in a country, for example, in the US or in the UK, and we want to do an international SEO strategy in Spain, for example. And we want to sell our product in Spain because we already have, well, here in the US or in the UK, it's really working. Let's go to Spain. So we sell commercial washing machines, and we say, okay, let's use the translator because there are good online translators such as DeepL. I think I am pronouncing this good, that they help you to translate your content. Yeah. However, if we go here and we use the translator, we can see like the exact translation of commercial washing machine in the US is lavadora comercial. This is how this exact word is called in Spanish. What happened here? If you see, there are only like 10 searches per month of this exact keyword. The exact translation, only 10 searches per month. So maybe you will say, oh, no, people in Spain are not buying commercial or industrial washing machines. They don't need this. But the things here is like, in this case, in Spain, we say it a little bit different. We say like lavadora industrial, that it will be like in industrial washing machine, which is also used in US and UK. But commercial washing machine, the exact translation is not used in Spain. So this is really, really important to know. Why? Because maybe if you do the exact translation and you go to a keyword tool, you see, oh no, this product is not used in this country. Yes, it is, but you need to not just translate, you need to transcribe. Yeah, that's why it's important to not just translate and have native writers or SEO specialists or content creators in the countries that you want to expand, because they will help you to do this international keyword research, especially when you do it, yeah, like from a country and a language to a different country in different language. Yeah, like UK to Spain or US to Spain or Mexico to Germany or any country that they have different countries and different languages. Okay, and this is really important to know. And this happens with like a lot of sectors, not only in the industrial sector. For example, this is something that I saw lately, like usually people in UK or in the US, when they are looking in English, when you want to buy something, you say trainers on sale, trainers sale, trainers for sale, yeah? And we say, oh, a lot of people want want to buy trainers. However, if you go to Spain, this exact translation is like only 100 searches per month. And you're like, oh, in Spain there are like 40 million people and only 100 people look this every month. It's like people don't use shoes in Spain, or what happens here? No. The thing is that in Spain, we don't use trainers or the product plus sale. We do it like buy plus product. Yeah, it's like a little bit different how we write this sentence. And yeah, if we look it better, it's like almost 2,000 searches per month. So it's like, yeah, people in Spain also wear shoes. So this is really important to know, because it's not only the keyword, it's like all the expression that maybe it's written different, or people in this country are written it different online. That's why it's really important to know what are the different types that you can find when translating from a country and a language and another country and another language. Yeah, and also it's really important to know that different culture, different habits, different local holiday seasons. So this is really important too when doing some research. What else can we face in a multilingual keyword research? Sometimes it's like, yeah, but in my case, I am selling from UK to US, or from Mexico to Spain, to a country from, and a language to a different country, but same language, like Spain or Mexico, or UK to Australia. What happened here? Well, in this case, probably it's one of the most common examples, like trainers is more used in UK. On the other side, sneakers more in the US. So if you want to rank, in the UK will be better to use trainers, and in the US, sneakers, right? But this happens in like a lot of countries in the world. For example, from Mexico to Spain, right? So if you want to do an international SEO strategy from a country like Spain to Mexico, it's important to know that they don't have the same dialect, yeah? Because maybe there are like some, not only a word like in this case, ordenador or computadora, that this means computer. It's like how people say it in Mexico. I mean, no one in Spain used this concept. We use this one. So it's really important to know this, because if not, if someone from Spain goes to a website and reads computadora, will be like, they don't sell in my country, because this is like another term. They use this in another place. So this is really important to know, okay? And also to think that, yes, same language, but different countries, different cultures. It's important to validate that the topics and the tone and more things. Like, for example, imagine that you are selling in the UK and you do B2B in the B2B sector, and you have something that protects the machine in winter, right? Like, I don't know, some equipment or something. And you publish a blog in November and say, this will help you to maintain your machine this winter. This will be great for you. Yes, if someone from Australia reads this blog, it's summer in Australia, when here it's November, in November. So maybe someone will be, oh no, they are not offering content for me. They are talking about winter and it's summer here. I don't need this product now. So maybe I will go to another website that offers what I need. So this is really important too when doing keyword research and planning content, because different season, different local holiday, different habits, and this can be a key factor, yeah, in your strategy. And last but not least, in this point, it's important that when you are doing multilingual keyword research in different countries but same language, you use local terms. Yeah, such as commercial washing machines on sale in Barcelona, or commercial washing machines on sale in UK, or in London, or anywhere. It's important to work with these local terms, because they will help you to rank better in your locations. Okay. Okay, so now we have two kind of multilingual keyword research that we can face. From a country and a language to different country and different language, to different countries but same language. And now the tricky one, from a country that has more than one official language. When can we find this? Well, for example, like I think we can find this in all the countries in the world, but there are like especially some countries that have more than official language, more than that is really spoken for a lot of people. For example, in Canada, like 7 million of people speak French in Canada. So maybe if we want to expand our international SEO strategy there, we can find gaps and opportunities using French instead of using English, for example. Or in Spain, there are like 5 official languages. Although it's true that a lot of people in Spain looks online in Spanish, we need to take into account that depending on the region, maybe they will look in Catalan or in Basque. So this can help us. And also, not only official languages, we also have like some countries, like for example, in the US, there are like 40 million people that have Spanish as a first language. This is really important when working SEO strategies online, because maybe if we want to compete against big brands, it's like it will be impossible to us to rank in US in an English with an English keyword. But maybe we have good opportunities in Spanish. I'm not saying that this is the best option, but I'm thinking that there's a thing that we need to take into account. Okay, and here we have some examples. For example, the concept dining shares in Spain, in Spanish, it have like a huge competence, 85%. On the other side, if we look in Catalan, the competence is so much lower. Like there is like, yeah, it's true, we have less searches, but we have less competence. It will be like a long tail keyword, a little bit, to work in another language in this case. Less volume, but less competence. So maybe if we have big competitors, this will be a good option for us to use another language to arrive to our potential users and to offer them this content. And we can see this here, for example, in the US too. If we look for women's shoes, for example, in the US, we can see like there are 90% of competence, yeah, 91 out of 100. So they will be like, if I want to sell women's shoes there, I will have to face Google competence against big brands. On the other side, in Spanish, there are like 10K searches per month in the US about zapatos de mujer, that this means the same as women's shoes in Spanish. So, but the competence is so much lower. So maybe why not use this also in Spanish in the US? There are things that we need to take into account, okay, that can help us to decide which is our better strategy. So, well, in this case, don't just translate. Remember that learn about the population, the languages they speak, if they use this online or not, this language, if you can validate this with Google Trends, with a lot of keyword tools that will help you to decide if there are enough searches of this concept in this language. Okay? And well, this is, for example, a real case example of a 2-month-old Spanish website. It was an experiment website that we published 1 or 2 months ago, and it's in Spanish. But we are already ranking in the US before than in Spain. Why? It's true that in Spain we have like more searches, but on the other side in the US we have so much, like we don't have competence there. So in 1 month we already have some keywords on the first page of Google. So this helps us. It's like, okay, it's in a strategy. I mean, I don't have the resources to have this website in English, but in this case, but I have it, but I can have it in Spanish, and I can have my opportunities and I have here. Okay, here's another example of a website in Spanish that has more traffic with Catalan keywords instead of Spanish keywords. Last but not least, something that you also need to take into account is that sometimes in some countries, especially if you work in Russia or China, you probably already know this. Some countries, they don't use Google as the main search engine. They have other search engines, such as in China, they have Baidu. So this is important to know when developing an international SEO strategy, because the characteristics or how to rank your queries will be a little bit different, and it's important that you know a little bit these search engines too. Here you have this link that there are all the search engines and the market share in each country, so it's really useful. If you want to start a new strategy, check this before. And finally, okay, so now we know like there are these kind of options when facing a multilingual keyword research. How are we going to write our content? Well, remember that our users have different cultures and habits. Yeah, remember about the tone, the social situation, the sense of humor. It's not the same in every country, so keep this in mind just in case. Remember that in this case, I'm talking about B2B companies that we were imagining that we sell the same product everywhere. But sometimes maybe we have different legal aspects in one country or in another, different price, different functionalities. So this is important to have then different versions, especially if we sell online. Because if we do a blog and we say, yeah, buy our machine for 100 euros, but if in Spain it costs 150 because of the taxes, well, then I will be like, then why you tell me that it's only 100 euros? Yeah, so this is important to know it and remember too. Look for native writer or content creators, not only to write the content, but also for revising and optimizing the SEO strategy. This will help you a lot. And last but not least, in case that you have big websites, a good option would be content automation, because it will help you to have patterns, to have to optimize SEO in your pages. And here I prepare this. It's a multilingual keyword and international content calendar template. So in case you need to do this multilingual keyword research, here you will have in this link the two templates. One in case that you want it for pages, and another one for your content strategy. Yeah, so this will help you to, okay, so here let's put the keywords in one language and here from the other language. And well, also when, I'm not going to talk this about today, but I leave it here for you. When doing an international SEO strategy, remember from the technical insights, such as hreflang, really important to focus your content in each country. Here you have more information, CDNs or local servers, it depends on your websites, local directories and Google My Business, yeah, to appear in that country, that people know that you are there and work on that too. And last but not least, always track your results and see if your strategies are working. Yeah, and if not, revise them and optimize them. And that's all for today. Thank you really much. I hope that you enjoy it and that this is useful for you. And if you have any questions, just ask. And I can hear you.
That's all right. I've made a classic faux pas of leaving my microphone muted. That was great, Gemma. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Watching, if you do want to get in touch with Gemma, do make a note of her contact details on the slide there. Gemma is a freelance consultant, so if you do want to get someone involved to help you with your international SEO strategy, Gemma is very clearly the right person to go to.
Thank you.
I had a couple of questions for you, if you don't mind answering.
Yes, of course.
Brilliant. So the first one I had, I think you made a very good point about making sure to find native speakers to help transcribe and translate your keywords and your content. Have you got any advice for the audience on the best place to find those translators? And do you think it's important that the translator should be competent or know much about SEO in the first place?
Okay, so related to the SEO knowledge, I think that it's important that they have like a little bit based on what is SEO and how to optimize your content with SEO. I work with different agencies, and the best option that we had was when we contract an SEO freelance for that. An English SEO freelance or a French SEO freelance, that she was a translator and an SEO. So this was perfect because it was really easy for us to work really good on each country. Although there are, I found some agencies that they already know a little bit about SEO, so maybe I guess that you will find this in your countries too. But there are some agencies that already know about SEO, so they adapt a little bit your content, your text, with the keyword from this country, right? For example, in my case, I have content in Spanish, and I say, yeah, but these keywords, when do it in English, don't use this term, use these ones, and they adapt it. So I don't know where are the best place to find them, but yeah, I think that there are a lot of agencies that they are doing this nowadays.
Excellent. So perhaps rather than just looking purely at a translator, it might be worth exploring marketing agencies or like you say, content writers in those countries.
Yeah, exactly.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
And I was interested as well, what's your favorite tool that you use to track keywords across different languages and to do all that research?
It depends a little bit because some tools, depending on the languages, are limited. For example, SEMrush, which I really love, for English keywords or Spanish, it's amazing. However, when I need to do Catalan research, that it's the language that we speak here in Catalonia, in Barcelona, I don't have the option. So in this case, I have to go to Google Ads and to the keyword, the Google Keyword Planner. But for example, if I go to Google Trends, these minor languages are not even there too. So in these cases, I think it depends a little bit on the language. I also had to do Portuguese keyword research in SEMrush, and for example, in these cases, it was difficult for me because I don't understand all the language. But I think it's try tools, but in general, the most common languages, you can find it everywhere.
Brilliant. That's really helpful. I imagine, yeah, there's going to always be a few less common languages that are more difficult to find, but I guess that's where, again, those translators come in really useful to help you understand the nuances and the differences.
Exactly, yes.
Brilliant. Well, there's been no questions coming through the chat, so thank you very much for answering mine. I will share the link from your presentation a moment ago around on Twitter and LinkedIn afterwards, so that everybody that's interested can access your templates for doing your multilingual keyword research. But yes, thank you very much, Gemma. It's been great.
Thank you for inviting me. It was fantastic.
And I hope that one day we can host you at an in-person Sheffield DM. We'll have to travel to the UK and.
Of course, I would love to.
So yeah, thank you again, obviously, as well to you, our audience who have tuned in today and joined us for another Sheffield DM. As usual, we're going to be back in 2 weeks' time, where we're going to be joined by John Jackson of Vivid Creative. And John's going to be sharing some thoughts on how data isn't everything and more marketers need to start relying on their gut when delivering campaigns. Sure to be another interesting and insightful talk from John. So yeah, if you've enjoyed Sheffield DM today and if you've enjoyed Gemma's talk, please do go and follow her on Twitter, connect on LinkedIn, check out her website and the resources she's got available on there. And if you enjoyed the live stream today, hit that thumbs up button underneath the video. Give us a follow on Twitter, subscribe to YouTube so you know next time that we're going to be going live, or hop over to the website and join the mailing list, and we'll send you all of the details through that. Again, as always, we're always looking out for new speakers to come and join us at Sheffield DM. So if you are interested, or if you want to push forward a friend or a colleague who you know would do an amazing talk for us, put them in touch with us again by Twitter or hello@sheffielddm.co.uk. So thank you very much, everybody. And again, we'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Take care. Have a great day.
Bye.